ahead and let yourself settle in to whatever position is comfortable for you, sitting or lying. Just begin by feeling the weight of your body on the floor or your chair. Feel your breath coming and going in your abdomen, your ribs, in your front side and in your back side. You may even remember the sensation of feeling your breath into your pelvic floor. Just noticing any sounds in the room. Just noticing when your thoughts get busy and just gently bringing them back to the sensation of the breath coming and going, or the sensation of your pelvis, the weight of your pelvis and the support, your spine, how your shoulders or shoulder blades are being supported either against the floor, a chair, or on top of your spine and skeleton. And then think for a moment about how your body feels your emotions. Think about how you feel physically when you're experiencing joy or grief or the anxiety of being late, right? These are felt sensations in the body. Dr. Feldenkrais would say that there is no thought that we think that doesn't have some kind of corresponding physical sensation. And often these sensations will show up in our throat or our chest or our gut, sometimes in our hands or other places. But as you're resting here, just begin to notice any sensation other than your normal musculoskeletal sensations, but any feeling, sort of emotional sensation that is showing up for you. It could be considered a positive emotion or a more challenging emotion, but just see if you can begin to identify any sensations in your body. Might be a tightening, a vibration. You might actually visually see like a rope or some kind of image. And if you tend to be visually oriented easily, then just make sure you re-ground it in the actual sensation that you're feeling in your body. And not necessarily to fix it or to change it, but just to learn to notice it, to be with it, to care for it. And sometimes as we're learning to become familiar with the sensation of the emotions in our body, some of them can be overwhelming. So if you start to feel any of that overwhelm in learning to be with what is showing up in this moment for you, then you can always invite some breath. You can invite the essence of a higher power, whatever that is for you, in to help and support you with it. You may even want to place a hand where you feel that sensation just to give it some love and support, some care and attention. I suspect much of what we do unconsciously in life is to avoid these sensations, especially the challenging ones, the anger or the anxiety or the overwhelm or the grief. That's where our addictions of choice come in, whether it's, a true drug alcohol addiction or our coffee or our screens or, in my case, my chocolate. Often these are avoidance techniques to not have to feel what is uncomfortable. And yet, as the saying goes, that which we resist persists. And learning to bring some kind and gentle, loving attention, just being with, can begin to create some space, some shifts, some relaxation to the intensity. I remember hearing once, and I'm forgetting how long at the moment, but just being with an emotion for a short period of time, I want to say 60 or 90 seconds, that every emotion actually shows up and passes if we allow it to, without resisting it. It shows up, it peaks, and it passes. So you can just notice for yourself as you spend some time with the sensation of emotion that is showing up with you today during this practice, if it's beginning to shift at all. And sometimes when we're with the sensation, we know, or we think we know, what the label of the emotion is. And then sometimes there's layers to it. Underneath anger might be grief or sadness or overwhelm. And sometimes it's just the sensation, and we don't have to know. We can just be with it. And this gives us the opportunity to recognize it, notice, and observe without being it, right? We use that language, I am angry, I am overwhelmed. And as we begin to develop a mindfulness practice, we can begin to notice that there is anger showing up. But it doesn't have to identify you or become you or overwhelm you. You can notice the emotion and just learn to observe it and be with it without merging with it. And then just take a moment to thank your body, to thank that part of you that was willing to be witnessed, maybe even a little vulnerable. Thank it for letting you care for yourself in this different kind of way. And then begin to bring yourself back into the room, noticing any sounds, feeling the sensation of what's supporting your body, following your breath, gently beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes as you softly open your eyes. And in your own time, bringing yourself back into the room.